Okay, it's a lot of info. I could go down so many rabbit holes. Are organic items always more expensive? I wanted to show this slide because there's going to be a lot of parents that listen to this to say, great, Allie, I know you're telling me to eat organic. I know I should eat organic, but I can't always afford organic, right? So I want this chat to be inclusive of all walks of life and all parents and all people. So this slide gives some suggestions and recommendations that shows like Honey Nut Cheerios are 33 cents an ounce versus organic oats at Walmart are 24 cents an ounce. And the organic is going to be better because we know now if it says organic, it's not sprayed with pesticides. Go-Go Squeezies. I'm not suggesting Go-Go Squeezies. The purpose of this slide is to show you that Go-Go Squeezies are around 49 cents each versus organic unsweetened applesauce from Walmart is 49 cents also, and it's a better value. Or great value. Great value is the name of the brand. So this slide just kind of shows you some examples of why it doesn't have to be more expensive all the time to buy organic products. Wonder Bread is on this slide. And of course, we would never, never recommend Wonder Bread as a health food. So don't get that twisted. It's just clearly making a comparison that the organic brand of bread at Walmart is actually cheaper than the not so good Wonder Bread. I hope that makes sense to you guys. I'm going to jump on some questions really quick because I saw a few pop in. We eliminated Red 40 from Carter's diet and it has helped him so much. Jen, I'm so happy to hear that. Same with my son. My son, I started to notice patterns in his moods when he was eating Red 40 and we eliminated it. There's definitely been times where he's been on a play date or something and he's eaten Doritos or a cupcake with red dye and I notice right away. So we just flush out his system with as much water as we can and we're just mindful of it next time. So thank you for sharing that. Oh, okay. You were responding back to the Red 40, didn't even know what it was till I know because we don't talk about it, you know. I would say majority of parents don't realize that Red 40 is a horrible thing for our kids. And I don't even feel bad using the word horrible. It is horrible. And the United States allows over 1,000 dyes and chemicals into our foods that are banned in the UK. 1,000. And that's on the low end. We allow this into our food. And in the United Kingdom, in Europe, they ban it. And if you take a piece of celery, you guys can do this experiment at home. Take a piece of celery and put it in a cup of water. And then take a piece of celery and put it in a cup of water with red dye. And notice how much faster the celery in the red dye dies. It dies much quicker. Okay, perfect. Before I move on, if you guys want to jump off of mute and share about food dyes or any stories with your kids, you're more than welcome to jump on and share because everything we say will benefit other parents. Does anybody want to jump on and share?
Hi, this is Jen.
Hey.
I just made a comment about eliminated the Red 40 from Carter's diet.
Yeah.
Huge change. There was a huge change. We were having issues with him. It started with soccer, and I'm sure Emily can contest to this. But he was having issues. He was definitely very aggressive, which he still can be, but he was different. And we were told if he possibly had ADHD, that this was also a benefit to him. So we decided, regardless of ADHD or not, that we would try to eliminate the Red 40. And like you said, we can tell within 10 minutes if he has it now.
Wow.
We completely, obviously there are times where he'll have a treat here and there and then we let him go, but then we know we're in for a different behavior from him. As soon as he has it, within 10 minutes, he's a different person. Yeah. And then maybe 40 minutes after, he'll come up to us and he will apologize for his behavior and he will say, he's like, I know something in the red did it to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is really mindful of it now. So he will look at food labels, um, making sure, because he doesn't like the person that he is when he has that.
Wow. And how old is
Mhm.
he?
Carter will be 9 on Friday.
Okay, so perfect example that, an 8 or 9 year old can learn and can, as the parent sets the example to say, well, here's what I've noticed about these dyes in the food, and here's how you act, buddy. And now, because my 9 year old's the same way, like he looks at the package now and says, I don't like how this makes me feel, so I'm not going to eat this. And then they're taking control of their health, which I think is so amazing. We plant the seed and we help them understand it, and then they can make a lifetime of better choices. So bravo to you, mama, because every person that listens to this chat is going to go, oh, maybe there's something there with these red dyes in my own kids. All these diagnoses of ADHD and anxiety and depression, could it be the food we're eating? Right? I mean, we are what we eat. So thank you for sharing that. I so appreciate it.
Oh, you're welcome.
Yeah. Okay, back to sharing screen. I'm checking our time. I'm going to try and breeze through this just to be mindful of your time. College dorm ideas. I thought this screen was really fun, because our kids are our kids forever, right? Again, preface this to say I'm not saying I approve or Bobby approves of this list of foods that we're looking at, but what I'm trying to make the point of here is that we can purchase organic and healthy within all price points. So instead of Prego marinara, which is more than likely has unnatural ingredients in it, go for organic marinara from Walmart. Some organic frozen veggies and fruits are listed there from Walmart, in comparison to, it looks like there's fresh fruits and veggies there too from Walmart. Soup is listed there as organic. Salsa is listed there as organic. Now these tortillas that are listed, I can't see the back of the package. I always recommend Siete. Siete is my favorite tortilla brand. But the point here is just that there are ways to buy organic cheaper. So yeah, I know, I agree, Peter. Siete is the best. All these slides are in your packet, so you can look at them later. This one talks about organic ketchup versus no sugar ketchup. So I'm just going to read what this says. These above products contain ingredients like artificial flavors, artificial sweeteners, sucralose, aspartame, potassium, mono and diglycerides, GMOs, artificial preservatives, fillers, inflammatory oils, and more. So my problem with that is, one, they're allowed in our food. Amen. They're allowed in our food. Why are they allowed in our food? First of all, well, they are. So that makes it even more challenging to try to eat healthy. You see something like muscle milk and you think, oh, awesome. It's good for me. It's going to help me build muscles. And then you look on the back and you can't even pronounce the ingredients. So we're going to get away from that, mamas and papas and friends and brothers and whoever's on this call. Let's stop buying foods where we can't pronounce the ingredients. The suggestions below, organic Quaker oats. There are much better brands than that, but it's just making the point that that's organic, so it's not going to have the GMOs. Stonyfield organic Greek yogurt. This is a hot topic, guys, and we're going to talk about dairy and milk. Stonyfield organic Greek yogurt is better than light and fit Greek yogurt, because light and fit Greek yogurt is going to be filled with those fake sugars, the sucralose and the things like that. Question coming in the chat. Yep. Oh, yep, Siete. We're just, oh, look, Siete, perfect timing. Now, the words at the top say not healthy, a better choice, and the best choice. So we're going to go back to what we talked about at the beginning, how we talk to ourselves. Not, I can't have this. It's, I can have whatever I want, but I'm going to make this choice because it's better for me. We need to start to talk to ourselves like this. And when we talk to ourselves like this, our kids are going to start to talk to themselves like this. So I can't have Doritos. Well, I can have Doritos, but I'm going to choose Siete chips instead because I'll feel better, right? Start to talk like this and your kids will talk like that. So this shows you better, not healthy, better, and best. These multi-grain tortilla chips that I'm circling that I get at Costco says not healthy, which is such a bummer. And then you go over to the Siete ones, which is the best choice, which is fine by me because I love those Siete grain-free tortilla chips. I'm guessing these food should taste good multi-grain tortilla chips that look healthy on the package. I'm guessing it probably has inflammatory oils. That's what I'm guessing is probably the reason. We could double check that. And then continue to scroll down on the list of better things to eat, cassava chips, because we know cassava is, or whether you know or don't know, cassava is a great flour alternative. And then anything that says organic, non-GMO, unprocessed. There's also something, I want to call this out right now. There's something on packages now that says contains genetically modified ingredients. Have you guys seen this? If you look on the back of a package, let me go grab a package. I'm going to grab something and see if it says it. Here we go. These are in my house. So this is proof that no one's perfect. My children somehow acquired these, whether I bought them or not, I'm not going to say, but this is the perfect example. Do you guys see right here? Contains a bioengineered food ingredient. These Dots pretzels. And you see this list of ingredients on here. It's like a flippin' page long. And this counts as food in our country. Isn't that sad? Maybe they taste delicious, but what's it doing to our body? So let's just break, this would not be Bobby approved for sure. Silicon dioxide, expeller pressed sunflower oil, granulated sugar, soybean, canola, corn oil. Blah. Now that we're talking about it, it's pretty nasty, right? Let's do Bobby approved really quick. I pulled up my Bobby approved app. This is how simple it is. We're gonna scan it. Not Bobby approved. Good job, Bobby. Why? Enriched wheat flour. The list goes on. You can see. Okay. So making a point, people. Making a point. No one's perfect. We probably all could go look in our pantry and find some bioengineered ingredients. What's affecting our inside air? Okay, this has nothing to do with what we eat, but it's the products that we use in our home. Stop using Febreze. Sorry. Stop using bounce dryer sheets. Stop using Clorox bleach. Stop using 409 multi-surface. Stop using Tide. I know a lot of you are crying right now, but there are better alternatives. Why? Why should we stop using those things? Because our skin is our largest organ, right? So anything we put on our skin or wash with or put into the air is going to go into our bodies, right? This is just one slide to show you alternatives, but we could have an entire Zoom on product swaps. This part kills me. I know. I know. So let me just say, because I know this is going to be painful to many of you. I will at some point provide you with an entire list of beauty product swaps. My friend Lindsaya has a wonderful list of beauty product swaps, cleaning product swaps, home product swaps. Honest by Jessica Elba is a company that I've used for a long time. I got like my diapers from Honest, and my boys use Honest shampoo and body wash. Still not perfect. It's still not perfect, but it's better than the alternative. I've found some all natural pods, and then I know now they make sheets that you can wash your clothes with. Like you can just throw the sheet in and it's all natural. Does anybody on the call, Peter, I don't know if you would be a great resource for this, especially with your background at Whole Foods. Do you have like products that you love or recommend for cleaning or laundry? I'm gonna unmute you, buddy. Or you might be somewhere you can't answer us. So how about this? When you can answer us about beauty products or cleaning products, jump back on with us and we'll see if you can answer. Oh, there we go. Same. Honest Body Wash is Norwex approved. Peter says I use Ecos at the moment. ECCOS, Ecos at the moment. Okay, good. So Ecos is another for laundry. Emily, I believe Norwex is approved. I am not 100% on that. And I wish Lindsaya was on this call with us because Lindsaya is like a wealth of knowledge. So I will ask her. But Norwex that's what their claim to fame is, right? All natural. Do you use Norwex products, Em?
I do, yeah.
Okay. And you like them?
I do. It's not as much, like most of it's perfect, but it's not as much of a quick fix for some things where
Okay.
if I was using a super toxic product, it would work immediately. But I actually think Norwex is the closest I've ever found to being really effective without being like toxic.
Okay. Awesome. So that's good to know. So it doesn't work as quickly as the chemicals, but it works. Okay. Good to know. Thank you for sharing that. See, we learn together. It takes a village. Okay, so another time we'll chat about more about beauty products and house products and things like that. Oh, good. Ecos is at Costco. Perfect. Love Costco. Okay, now to save time, I am not going to go through this quick family meal ideas, but as a benefit of you guys being on this call, which I'm so grateful you're here, you get to have this printout. Quick family meal ideas for breakfast, snacks, lunch, dinner, and we are going to talk about the greens part, but I want to call out this top part. Quick family meal ideas. Choose organic ingredients whenever possible. Never microwave to reheat. Use an air fryer, toaster oven, or range. Microwaves deplete 96% of nutrients. Have your kids help so they can learn to cook and appreciate food. So I want to point out that microwaves are a regular, normal thing in our lives. They have become, and they've become a convenience. And they're depleting our food of nutrients. And a whole host of other things are happening when we stick our food in the microwave. So what I've done at my house, and my boys really didn't even blink an eye. They're totally cool with it. We bought a $10 air popper. You plug it in, you stick in your organic popcorn, and it pops out the popcorn, and it's so fun, and they love to do it. We warm up everything in the air fryer or on the range, and they're totally fine with it. So if that's one change you make from this call, in terms of cooking in the kitchen, that would be an amazing change for your family. Microwave macaroni and cheese will be the death of me. It is not good for us. Please stop eating it. Okay? Can we agree on that? I love you. Stop eating macaroni and cheese. Stop giving it to your kids. The kind you put in the microwave that's just Kraft macaroni and cheese is a chemical storm of science experiment. And then we stick it in the microwave and we make it even worse. Rant over. Okay, chat. Okay, you're just laughing at me. I know, I'm laughing at myself. So some breakfast ideas. I even added little clickable links for you guys. Ezekiel bread, Redmond sea salt, Wallaby organic Greek yogurt, how to make homemade kale chips, lunch ideas, soup ideas, smoothie ideas, stir fry, crock pot. Crock pot's a little on the fence about that too, because now I'm starting to hear about the things that leach into our food from the crock pot, but we won't go there tonight. Okay, let's talk greens for kids. I'm just gonna read this. Let's be honest. Oftentimes getting kids to eat veggies or greens is next to impossible. I tried to get my kids to drink green smoothies with avocado and called it Hulk juice. It still didn't cut it when I did that. So luckily my kids love raw cut up veggies and fruit, and they love smoothies. So we stick with that. If your kids won't eat veggies or greens, don't give up. Keep trying to introduce veggies in new ways with dips, baking the veggies, hide them in muffins, make it fun with veggie shaped creation. And I want to say that because I've had so many parents say to me, my kids won't eat veggies. My kids won't eat veggies. Well, keep trying because they will eventually. And if they see you eat veggies, they'll be more inclined to eat veggies. I found this amazing brand of supplements and vitamins for kids on the Spectrum. And I think it's worth sharing for all parents. Why? Because more than likely, most to all kids are not getting the required amount of veggies and fruits they need, which means they're not getting the vitamins and minerals they need. My Spectrum Heroes is the name of the company, and their supplements are bioavailable, third-party tested, and free of allergens and dyes. What does bioavailable mean? Bioavailable means that oftentimes when we eat something and it says fortified with vitamin D, fortified with calcium, it's not bioavailable. Our body can't use it. Okay. That's a really important point to make. So again, could be a whole nother lecture, but this particular vitamin brand is bioavailable. It's vitamins and minerals that your kids can assimilate that they need. This is a quote from my Spectrum Heroes, and I liked it, so I'm going to read it. Implementing effective nutrition strategies can improve your child's health, symptoms, and behavior. The food you feed your child directly affects their brain and body, and knowing which foods can aggravate symptoms and behaviors and which ones can nourish and support their system can greatly improve their quality of life. I also recommend Llama Naturals, plant-based vitamins, and I love them because they are made with fruits and veggies, organic fruits and veggies. And so the source of vitamins and minerals is from fruits and veggies. So when in doubt, if you can't get your kids to eat fruits and veggies, at least you're supplementing, right? Because even as adults, we don't get all the fruits and veggies that we need. Chat. Smoothies help to get veggies in. They absolutely do. Emily, do your kids do they like smoothies, and do you make smoothies? Like, do you make them at home?
Yes, I do. Yes.
Okay. What do you put in them?
Let me talk quiet so no one can hear me.
Okay. Okay.
So I do spinach,
Uh-huh.
avocado, organic carrots. Celery's hard because sometimes they can taste it, but then I do frozen organic blueberries or strawberries depending on the kid. And then we will do a banana for flavor.
That's amazing. And they don't say anything about the spinach and avocado?
The avocado, I have to be careful with too, but they've never, ever even hinted that there was any spinach in any of them.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Okay. So proof that we continue to try to hide the veggies in what we're making and don't tell our kids, and probably eventually they'll like it, right? And then where do you buy your frozen fruit? Do you go to Costco?
I do. Yep. I get
Okay.
the big bags. Yep, the organic strawberries and blueberries. They don't have the organic options at Sam's Club. It's only at Costco.
Oh, good to know. Okay, there's a good tip. I love Costco's frozen organic fruit, and that's all I buy too. Actually, though, I will give a shout out to Aldi. Aldi has great organic frozen fruit. So thank you for sharing that, sister. I appreciate it. Okay, let's talk milk and yogurt. Oh gosh, this is another rabbit hole that we could go down for a whole hour. So I'm gonna just try and breeze past this, even though it's super important. Not all milks are created equal, and there's a lot of misleading information on milk packaging. For example, a typical consumer would think organic plant-based oat milk is healthy, but then we see words like sunflower oil, which is inflammatory. Other words to avoid on milk packaging: genetically modified oils, emulsifiers, gums, evaporated cane juice, cane sugar, cane syrup, natural flavors, natural colors. Vitamin D2 is synthetic. It's not bioavailable. And carrageenan. Okay, again, take a breath. They don't make it easy, right? So we just want to, the simpler the meal, the better you'll feel. Keep it simple. Keep it simple. It's so frustrating, I know. So I did a little research for us, and I found these brands. Plenish checked all the boxes. Probably have to order online. That's the only downside. Thrive has several quality products with ingredients we can pronounce, and Thrive is an online grocery provider, and Thrive has all organic, non-GMO things you can trust. Redwood Hill Farms has an excellent goat's milk product. And I put the link here to their website, and you can type in your zip code and it'll tell you where you can buy Redwood Hill Farm products. Okay. The dairy industry wants us to believe that cow's milk is good for us, but sadly it's not. It's not for the faint of heart, but you can read about the truth about cow's milk here. I had to put this, guys. I had to, because I want you to be aware and I want you to know about our food industry, because what we feed ourselves and what we feed our kids matters so much. You don't have to click this link to learn about the truth of cow's milk if you don't want to, but it's there for you. One of the issues with regular milk is how heavily processed and pasteurized it is. And so by the time it gets to us, it has no nutritional value, and we can't assimilate the calcium that's added. We can't assimilate the calcium that's added. That's a problem because we need calcium, right? There's a whole section here. I felt it was important enough to talk to you about calcium, and I'm going to jump down and I'm going to highlight this. Highlight and read. Calcium is one of the champion elements for growing children. Evidence of a low supply of calcium shows up as growing pains, leg cramps, stitches in the sides, lack of concentration at school, crooked teeth, narrow dental arch, poor healing of sores, bone softening, and catarrhal complications, which catarrhal is mucus, okay? So calcium is a champion element for growing children. If we're only giving our children non-bioavailable calcium, false forms of calcium, they're not going to have enough calcium that they need. What are great rich sources of calcium? Well, happy that you asked. Great rich sources of calcium are raw milk, not processed pasteurized milk, raw milk, and greens. Greens. Think of greens and calcium from now on. Anytime you give your kids organic greens, they're getting calcium. Yay, calcium. This shows you different age groups, ages 1 to 3, and so on and so forth, of how much calcium they need per day. And if you're concerned about your child getting enough calcium, we can supplement calcium with Llama Naturals, those vitamins I told you about that have minerals and vitamins in them, or the Spectrum ones. If you have questions about vitamins that you're giving your kids, reach out or post it in the chat and I can help you decide if that's a good supplement. Fun fact, kale fed chickens. So kale, green, calcium, right? Kale fed chickens have strong, tough eggshells. Kale is an excellent source of calcium, as are beans, egg yolks, and raw milk. When a diet is inadequate in calcium, one of the first elements to go out of balance in the body. So when calcium is when the body is out of balance nutritionally, calcium is one of the first minerals to go. And then our body becomes a host of diseases. One sign of calcium deficiency is some issues start arising with our teeth. Those who consume excessive amounts of refined carbohydrates are more susceptible to calcium deficiency. Gelatin is 40% calcium. Bone meal has a gelatin quality and is a better source of calcium than lime or eggshells. I saw a question pop up. Let's look. Can anyone recommend a good place for spring water or any other lower cost tap water alternative? Think family size source. I have a Berkey currently, but the filters are pricey. Okay, Peter, I'm going to parking lot that question because we're going to jump into water in a second. I love this question, but I'm going to parking lot it. Wrapping up on calcium, Dr. Weston Price is a dentist, found there's a direct correlation between good health and good teeth. Menstrual blood contains 40 times the calcium compared to regular blood. An excessive menstrual flow will heavily deplete calcium and iron. Why did I bring that up? Because we have daughters that are on their periods, right? We have daughters that, and women in our lives. So that's good to know that if we are bleeding heavily, we should be supplementing calcium and iron. Okay. Then it goes on to some recipes, and I linked all of these recipes with suggested ingredients. So I put the work in for you. When I recommend organic oatmeal, here's a kind I recommend. When I recommend organic protein powder, here's a brand I recommend. When I recommend organic honey, here's a brand I recommend. I tried to take the work out for you guys. So there's recipes, and you'll get all of this in your inbox. Okay, so I want to pull up, and I know I'm still sharing my screen, and this is perfect because I'd planned on 7:30 in my mind. So I am going to take the next 10 minutes to go over this. Then we'll open for questions, and then we'll wrap up. Does that sound good? Okay. So you can still type your questions in the chat box. And you guys can hopefully still see my screen. This handout is a PDF. And I'm going to send it to you, and I love this. I created this so that you can print it and distribute it. You're more than welcome to share this, give it to the masses. I think it's a really great snapshot of everything we just talked about. And it's not just for kids. It's titled Kids Nutrition for Busy Parents, but this is really for everyone. I'm going to flip on a light really quick, so hold on. Let's see, where's that light? There we go. Okay, I just needed a little more light in here. So protein is in every cell of our body, and we need protein to properly function, right? All the body systems. So how do we get protein? Well, here are some suggested ways to get protein. Organic hard-boiled eggs. And then I recommended where you could get those. Costco. Organic hummus with veggies. Where could we get that? Trader Joe's. Also Costco. Black bean and cheese quesadilla with siete tortillas. Where can we get those ingredients? Costco. Organic string cheese. Costco or Kroger. Organic nuggets. Because life is busy and sometimes we eat nuggets. Well, let's eat a better nugget. Earth's Best Brand or Trader Joe's. Wild salmon, not farm-raised salmon. wild salmon, Kroger or Trader Joe's. So you guys can kind of see on the screen, it breaks it down by protein, carbohydrates, fats, vitamins, minerals, and hydration, which is the question that Peter had. So I'm just going to say 2 from each category. Then we'll go down to hydration. Then we'll break for questions. Carbohydrates, your body's main source of energy and mood. So if we're on a low carb diet, we're probably not in a very good mood most of the time. We might be losing weight, but our brain needs carbs. And then think about the example you're setting for your kids too. You want to teach your kids that carbohydrates are a good thing as long as they're the right kind of carbs. So organic einkorn pasta. Einkorn is like an ancient grain that is so good for us. Jovial brand is at Kroger. Organic, I put peanut butter and jelly with Simple Truth organic sprouted bread. I want to call this one out because a lot of mamas tell me they can't figure out a bread that their kids will eat and that's actually good for their family. I actually really like, and my kids like it too. I'm going to show you because I have some here. This is from Kroger. And it's Simple Truth brand. And I made my boys sandwiches with this. Simple Truth organic, sprouted and seeded, thin sliced bread. Whole grains, non-GMO, vegan. And every ingredient on the back is organic. And this is from Kroger, which is the Simple Truth brand. And then as a special treat, sometimes I make my boys peanut butter and jellies on the cinnamon raisin bread. And this one is sprouted grain as well. So look for words like sprouted grain. Bread's a tougher thing. I feel like there's so many varieties of bread and so many options that it can be confusing. So type in the chat box if there are any breads that you guys would recommend. I would love to hear from you on that. Okay, fats. Organic eggs cooked in avocado oil. Organic avocados with everything bagel seasoning. Homemade organic trail mix with coconut. Coconut's a great form of fat for our babies, for our babies' brains. And then vitamins. Make your kid an organic fruit plate. Strawberries, apples, and oranges. That's it. 100% real fruit bars at Costco. Better snack than Gushers. Organic veggie tray. My kids devour veggie trays. Minerals. Cacao. Raw cacao, which is the purest form of chocolate. It's in a cacao pod. If you look up cacao, it's different than chocolate. The highest form of magnesium, which is so cool because you can eat a piece of cacao. It tastes like chocolate. It's such a delicious treat. And then you're getting like this rich boost of magnesium. Dark leafy greens. I can't say this enough. This is how we're going to get our minerals. Start your own garden this summer. Raw goat's milk, if you can find it, is an amazing source of minerals for you and your babies. Organic eggs. And then we are to water. So we're going to jump into that. We're working on boys eating Ezekiel bread. Yeah. Emily just chatted in that she's working on her kids to eat Ezekiel bread. And I feel like bread is a challenge for us too. Anything that's got like the graininess to it, it's kind of a texture thing with my kids. This I find is better than Ezekiel. So maybe give this a brand a try from Kroger, the Simple Truth, or just keep trying. I think that's all you can do is just keep trying. Yeah, perfect. Let me know how it goes. Okay. Filtered water. Okay, Berkeys. Yes, Berkeys are awesome. Berkeys are amazing. Berkeys are expensive. And you have to buy a Berkey filter that filters out fluoride. Berkey filters don't just automatically filter out fluoride. You have to actually buy the filter to filter out fluoride. I learned that at school last weekend. Berkeys are amazing though. There are filters now that you can put right into your water bottle that will filter out your water. And I can't think of a brand, but if you just Google water bottle filters, one of the hockey dads was just telling me about it. And Peter, when I find out the brand, I'll tell you. We have an Aquasana on our counter. And Aquasana is available on Amazon, and it's just on the counter. We fill it up and it filters. And then we buy the Aquasana filters to replace from Amazon. And it's not the kind that's hooked up to our sink. It's just a countertop one, but Aquasana does make sink hookups. Brita, we've all heard of Brita. You can buy a Brita anywhere, Costco, Kroger. We have reverse osmosis water at the Sunshine House, and that's a whole house system. And so that's a little pricier too, but I feel like filtered water is one of the greatest things we can do for our family because it's got chloride and fluoride and all of these things in it that are not good for us. And then what happens is when we drink synthetic fluoride and we drink synthetic chloride, the actual chloride and fluorine that our bodies need and want to assimilate, they can't assimilate it because we're ingesting the wrong kind. So when we go back to the conversation about minerals, okay, our body needs minerals, but if we're putting synthetic minerals into our body can't assimilate the right kind of minerals. Does that make sense? We can have a whole mineral conversation too. Okay, so Peter says they have a carbon and a fluoride filter. Right, so you have to buy those filters separately though with Berkey, correct? Is that what you know it to be? I just want to make sure. And you can type in the chat. Yeah, it's $500. I know. Berkeys are 500. Holy, that's a lot. That's a lot of money. Let's keep in touch with what water filters we would recommend. But for now, I think at least we mentioned a few. And I'm going to look into that water filter that the hockey dad told me about. There's a place in West Bloomfield that he goes to. It's off of Orchard Lake Road. And he said he goes to it and it's where they take his water and they make it a pH of 9.5. So they turn it into essential water and they filter it. I was like, where is this magical unicorn place that you speak of? I don't know if anyone's heard of it, but I'm going to share it with you when I find out. He just told me about this and I don't know the name of it. So I will share it with you. Other ways to stay hydrated, drinking half your body weight in ounces of water every day. Make sure it's filtered water. Gatorade is not a good way to hydrate. It has added dyes. Organic watermelon and cucumbers, awesome ways to stay hydrated. Or organic coconut water from Costco is a good brand. Popman juice is not a good option. Chemicals and sugar. So, perfect. Right at 7:29. That's exactly where I wanted to be. I so hope that everyone on this call and everyone that listens to the recording got a lot out of this chat tonight. I know it was a lot of information, and oftentimes learning about our health can feel like drinking out of a fire hydrant. So our takeaways tonight, let's recap. For those of you that are still on with us, Emily and Peter, if you guys wouldn't mind coming off of mute, let's just shout out real quick some things that stuck with us and some takeaways. Like, what's one thing that stuck out tonight? And if you can't come off mute, you can type it in the chat.
I'm still trying to narrow it down to the one thing.
That's okay. You can name a few.
Oh man, where do I begin?
Did you learn something new?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, good.
Absolutely. There's a lot of those swaps that, I mean, even being around those products that I didn't even know
Good. Yeah.
that there's that when you're always at one store, you forget that there's like multiple sources that may even have better products
Mhm.
that are available. But the
Amen.
options are there. We just got to look for them. And
Okay.
even though we're busy,
Yeah, and that's where being prepared comes into play, right? Like maybe we make our grocery list ahead of time and uh order for pickup if we can, or the more we do it, the more prepared we'll be, right? And I think,
yeah,
if you have a Costco list and an Aldi list and a Kroger list, it gets a little annoying. But what's better, being healthy or being annoyed?
mm,
I don't
being
know.
being annoyingly healthy.
Annoyingly healthy. Yeah, there we go. Well, thank you for being here and thank you for sharing. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Em, I don't know if you can come off mute, sister, but if you
Yeah.
can, yeah, perfect. What's something you're going to take away from this chat?
Well, first of all, right when you started off, that what it was, the dirty dozen,
Yeah.
and that, yeah. So I actually did not know. I've heard before, oh, there's some fruits you don't have to buy organic, and there's some foods that you just should buy organic. So to me, that was really helpful to have that list, because I just think organic, 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 but like some of it I know that's where I could maybe take my foot off the gas, where I don't have to, but it's more recommended for other things like apples. I know is better to buy organic.
Yeah.
So that was pretty eye-opening for me too. And then, I love the swaps. So, and taking that further to run everything through Bobby Approved, I think will be a big game changer. Because I think we're in the right direction, but these little details, I definitely am different in how I look at this today than I was even like 3 months ago.
Yeah.
So,
Awesome.
yep. Appreciate
So I so appreciate that. And I so appreciate you, always having open dialogue with me, and exchanging these resources because we keep learning from each other. I didn't know about Bobby Approves and you told me about that. So I love it. And that's also how we navigate this without being so overwhelmed, we can compare things with each other and say, hey, have you tried, or recommendations.
Yeah, and knowing that there are so many people, like not a lot of people could join this or even were aware of it, but it is a very well known. I mean, I spent an entire soccer practice talking to 3 other moms a couple weeks ago that literally just about like healthy food finds, and it's like gold when someone says, "Oh my gosh, have you tried these?"
Yeah.
I'm like, "Oh my gosh." So it's definitely something I think that's more commonplace for people to care more about this being a priority.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. Cool. Well, thank you guys for being here. I'm sorry for the hiccups that we encountered.